Everyone talks about AI mode. I think it's a big change in the way consumers behave, or also businesses behave on the web. Let's dive a little bit into this topic today. Julius, how's it going?
Very good. Good morning. First time we're doing this in the morning, so let's
7:30.
Let's see how it goes. So we're going to talk about Google today, and they're kind of on a roll recently. I mean, they're doing loads of great consumer products, great AI products, and it kind of feels like they're back.
They are definitely back. I think Google is back, and comparing the results when you create a video with VO3 or when you edit an image, they are not just back, they are at the forefront now.
Yeah. And how do you think that happened? Do you think it was a management shift, or is it just a big company moving a bit slower than these small upstarts? Because, I mean, Google was at the forefront of AI. They were with DeepMind writing these transformer papers like years ago, and then kind of got caught out by these good products. Do you think anything changed, or is it just?
I think it's just an extreme war between those AI companies, and at the moment, what we recently spoke with Zohir from Aleph Alpha, and what he explained was that one training is for these large language models on average. I think it's 8 or 9 figures. So it's really costly.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that 2 or 3 years, many corporates were interested in doing the research, getting things ready on paper, but they were not ready to really invest billions.
Yeah.
And what we see now is that Google, Amazon, and Meta, they are investing billions and billions and billions. And it's just, I think the theory is already there for how you can train algorithms, but now you just have to invest heavily.
Yeah.
And I think Google is quite good at investing heavily.
It's becoming an infrastructure race, yeah, for sure. And Google has probably one of the best developer teams of building these products, right? It's also one of the core strengths.
But it's also their biggest threat. So it's quite obvious to see that they really built an enterprise that is very well protected.
Mm-hmm.
They have Google Workspace, they have Google Search, they have Google Maps with all these reviews. And when you take the whole universe of Google, it's so well protected that I would say 3 or 4 years ago, no one could have ever imagined that there will be a real competition.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden we see that simply the way user search can change due to the new possibilities of AI, and this can be the biggest threat. So I think for them that's their only vulnerability they have.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that kind of pushed them now to build such good AI features that it's at the same time almost cannibalizing their core moneymaker of all times, the Google Ads, of users now, I can just take a picture of it and I get a great answer, but where did the ads go?
Well, let's just go into the AI mode for 1 second, and maybe then I see a lot of difficulties for them. What should be our prompt for today? So I would say, give me a good strategy, or give me good strategy consulting firms in Boston. Give me a list.
Mm-hmm.
That's a classic prompt because you usually don't get a result directly in a search. So there's really a benefit of searching with an AI mode. Of course, it looks completely like an LLM result. So one difference we see here compared to ChatGPT is that they obviously show links here on the right side.
Yeah.
Which is great. It reminds me a little bit on the first days of search. Can you think back of the time when you had advertisement on the right side? That was, I think, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You had the organic on the left side. And so this is really a little flashback for me, because I can imagine that, of course, there will be ads sooner or later, but that's just my guess.
Yeah.
And AI mode is now completely implemented in search. So I can just do the exact same search here and see the results, or I can choose the AI mode. And I think that's a big attack against ChatGPT. Why?
And
Because
perplexity.
and I mean, recently I heard so many clients, but also colleagues saying, I use ChatGPT for most of my daily life. But the thing is, they use it for most of their daily life. They don't use it for every search query. There are a lot of search queries that are where ChatGPT just takes too long.
Yeah.
So having this kind of differentiation, let's say you're searching for a nice Italian restaurant in Munich. Forget it. You're currently not searching on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Definitely not. You're searching on
Yeah.
maps.
Yeah.
Or let's say you just want to, some people, they just type LinkedIn login because they don't know the exact URL. They just want to.
Yeah.
If you type this in ChatGPT, holy guacamole, your result will be the LinkedIn login is a very nice login. It's a beautiful page. It has many users. Blah, and you're like, fuck, I only want to have this link.
Yeah.
So I think that for OpenAI, Google rolling out the AI mode is probably very, very, very bad news. It just makes it a lot easier to access this.
But so do you think Google does it just to kill or compete better with OpenAI, or is it also helping their own strategy of increasing their own universe of ads and ecosystem around it?
Both. So the way that it was rolled out now, I think it's not. I mean, when we just look at the screen that I was sharing, it's not monetized. So you can either have a Gemini Pro subscription or not, but the AI mode is open for everyone, also without this subscription. So it means it's not monetized. So the reason why they roll it out like this is just because it's a threat that there are search queries and prompts currently in OpenAI and Perplexity and Claude. And when you look at overall search, of course, there is market share that is now actually at a competitor of Google. So let's just take all of the search queries and all of the prompts. I think prompts at some distinct can be difficult to compare because you can also prompt and there is an agent in the back. That's a different thing. But let's just take the search market, and that's a threat. So first thing is kind of defending their business model, and the next step, of course, is how can they monetize it? Because at the end of the day, if there is a big shift to AI mode, and I think Perplexity does a great job because they really understood that meshing search and AI results is for the user a very good experience. When you type in Italian restaurant at Perplexity, it's very likely that you get a lot better results. Of course, they are not comparable to Google Maps because you don't have all of these crazy good reviews and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, when the input field where you either type in a prompt or a search query already understands, okay, this is a great way to present AI result, or this is a great way to present the search result. So this was the AI overview previously by Google. I think that the AI overview is maybe to some distinct already a much better product than OpenAI. That's just my gut feeling.
Hey everyone, do you enjoy today's episode? Hit the subscribe button and support us with your subscription. We really appreciate your support, and now let's go back to the episode.
It's just the power of Google, right? It has everything there. It has all that different data, as you said, and just gives it to you right there. And then you can still access all those links, which is the key asset over OpenAI. Yeah.
But I also think that the way they are storing these AI results is quite smart. That's just my gut feeling. But I think that when you have the same prompt or the same search query multiple times in the AI preview, that Google kind of stores the result, so you don't have to wait until everything is written.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes sense because it saves a lot of time when you combine this. So my experience so far was that the AI preview was always quite fast compared to a search on ChatGPT.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, no. Maybe next question. If this is now all shifting, and the interface is just becoming Google and the user is just typing it into a chat interface, how do you see this shift for marketers? How should they approach this? How should they get listed? How should they maybe shift their business model? How should they get found? What's changing there, and what's
I think that's the main opportunity at the moment for marketers. There is a big shift in SEO. We had a very good talk about that, so I can recommend everyone to check this video as well. The fundamentals of how LLMs are trained are now basic SEO knowledge. So if you're not aware of how an LLM is trained, then everyone should definitely check that. But just to sum it up, LLMs are trained on a large amount of data, mostly internet data, so comparable to previous SEO, but not so heavily relying on backlinks. So building up a reputation and ensuring that you have a good reputation and visibility on the web is actually most crucial for that. A lot of things remain the same. So I'm quite sure that there's still a search index somewhere in the back that just benchmarks, okay, is your page actually trustworthy? Is the page somewhere state of art or even better? Because, I mean, if you get a recommendation from ChatGPT or from Gemini and you click on a link and then you end up at a page that is super old and trashy, it's very likely that the experience for you is poor. So I think that there is still a correlation to a search index. I mean, Perplexity mostly works with search. And what we also see is many times, and this is very funny in ChatGPT, you can sometimes read that when you type in a prompt, it just switches and says searching on the web. And obviously what happens then is ChatGPT does exactly what you could do yourself. Type in something on Google or on Bing. It's actually powered by Bing. So still the classic SEO rules are very relevant, because if ChatGPT searches on the web, what will it find? Of course, the things that are ranking good.
Yeah, of course. But how do you see this ads, or how do marketers, because I think it has to evolve as well, right? If it used to be you pay per click, how does it maybe shift in the future if now this website data of marketers gets used to train these models to create an AI answer? Where do you see this in the future? Different options. I mean, I can't even imagine how it would work, but Google already has these AI attribution models, right? They kind of figure out how you came to their website and then they charge you. Where do you see this go?
I think that the big challenge here is to somehow combine user preference. So to what distinct are users really willing to use a tool that is kind of meshing organic results with advertisement? That's the one question. I would say there's already the proof that there is no big challenge in this business model, because when we just look at the classic search, everyone knows that when you type in a search query at the moment, the first 4 results are usually advertisements. So on the screen above the fold, you can't see anything but advertisement. But still, the user experience is very good overall for Google. So it's net positive for users. And of course, they were building a habit. That's the stronger part on that. So at the moment, rolling out advertisement, very radical. in AI mode or in ChatGPT or Perplexity is very likely not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it's quite early in the competition and users still compare, and there are many users who did not build a habit so far.
Yeah, of course.
And let's just say OpenAI rolls out advertisement within 1 out of 2 ads,
Mm-hmm.
1 out of 2 results now.
Yeah.
It will definitely be a reason for many users to switch these tools. In the beginning of Google, that's a funny anecdote. The founders of Google, they all said advertisement is something that we don't really see in the future as a business model that is completely, it's outdated. And this is exactly what Sam Altman at the moment does.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, advertisement will never do it. But I already saw in a business forecast that there was ad revenue to many, many billions in in the forecast of OpenAI. And where does it come from? Obviously from ads.
Oopsie.
I think it was for 2026, so not so far from here.
The accountants snitched.
Yeah, so I mean it's a big company. You can maybe it was also a mistake and it's not really on the roadmap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think at the moment it's a competitive advantage to not have ads. On the other hand side, look at the unit economics of these companies. They are losing money with every user.
Crazy, yeah.
It's net positive for us to use AI because they pay the bill.
Yeah.
And there is no ad. So we should use it heavily and enjoy it as long as they pay the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. So my expectation is that there will be advertising within these results.
Mm-hmm.
I think for advertisers, this is a big opportunity. Why? Because the profiles of these users are so crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
You communicate all your health issues, private topics, purchase research, all of these things that you do on a daily basis with a chat. You have your learning path when you are curious about a specific topic, all these and previously a lot of this research was on websites, so it was quite fragmented to have all of this knowledge.
Yeah.
And now you have a single source that knows a lot more than Meta, a lot more than Google. And
everything, yeah.
this will be powerful. And I'm really curious to see how it's developing. And of course, for our clients, it will be a huge possibility to drive probably great results.
Yeah, for sure. I think the main thing Google has to really watch out for is, as always, their relationship with the European Union and all their regulatory problems. I think it's already kind of shaping search results in the EU. That's kind of throttling Google Maps. When I'm looking for something in the search bar and it's almost not showing me Google Maps anymore. And I looked it up and it's because of EU regulation of them.
Is it because
having,
of EU?
Yeah, too much power.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
crazy!
their
I
message.
thought it was because they want to protect themselves from other companies to scrape maps. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, but I think it makes sense. I mean, but that's sad. At the end of the day, it was a really nice solution for users.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, you can still use it, but you have to go into Google Maps and then search. But there the EU says you can't have all this power and of this one point where users get redirected to all your different products.
Yeah.
That's where they're saying, oh, you're abusing your market power.
Wow, that's an interesting insight. I didn't know that. And but it completely makes sense when you just compare Google Maps with a lot of other local research solutions. It's
It's the best.
the number one research. I mean, you can do it with, what was it? TripAdvisor? Was it
Mhm.
TripAdvisor? Or Yelp? Or these?
Yeah.
But
It's kind of, not the
it's
same.
old data. Sometimes you read these reviews and think where they are 10 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So they have to pay attention to that and get some good lawyers there.
Yeah.
Maybe bonus question. If now the search experience is moving away from your browser, you have multiple tabs, you search for something across tabs. Now you just have one AI interface within Chrome. The main competitor that could really take this one step further would be Apple, right? That you just talk to your phone and there you have an AI mode. Where do you see this? Apple doing things and still kind of sleeping at the wheel.
That's a very good question.
That's a threat, or
I think Apple it's not something new, but I think for these for Meta, for Amazon, for Google, Apple was or is actually the end boss since I don't know 15 years, and it's quite obvious why, because when you turn on a screen, the device is from Apple.
Yeah.
So they can make the rules. It's actually like playing in someone else's garden. Yeah, if they say, well, I don't want you to play on the grass, yeah, you don't play on the grass then.
Yeah.
And then I think that's the reason why they are the end boss. But what we saw over the last years was that for Apple, it was a lot more profitable to just ask these companies to pay for the rules to play on in the garden.
Yeah.
So Meta wasn't interested in that, so they had a really big trouble. The tracking was completely broken because Apple just said, okay, we are Fort Knox now, you can't track anything.
Yeah.
Which ended up in advertisers losing a lot of return on ad spend. Why? If you don't have a proper tracking, you cannot really target.
Yeah.
I think this was not... I cannot say if it was net positive for Meta. They probably did a very good calculation why they decided not to collaborate with Apple. But for advertisers, it was definitely not net positive.
No.
And I can imagine that Apple remains to focus on building great products and not becoming software leaders. I mean, it's the same question when you look at iWork. You remember that? iWork?
No.
Pages and all these
Pages, yeah.
What Pages and
Numbers.
Those are like the goofy copies of and Apple definitely has the resources to build a comparable product to Office. That's not the problem.
Yeah.
The only question is this a reason why you buy a $1,500 phone from them? And I think that's not a reason. It's an addition. You can maybe consider to get that, but the main focus for Apple over the last years was always you do a one-time purchase that is freaking expensive, you are happy, and you do it again 1 year later because there comes an update. So, and yeah, software is somewhere with AI definitely shifting, and I think Apple is experimenting a lot. But let's see. I mean, for Apple, it's also a big threat. Consider Android as the platform that is very likely to be integrated a lot better with
true.
AI.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of change coming. I think Tim Cook is also in his final year or so of
hopefully not of Apple CEO.
Of Apple CEO, yes. He's healthy. And his strategy was, he's a finance guy. He's building out the service business, building out, I mean, he grew Apple massively in revenue numbers. And I think who's most likely to replace him, I forgot his name, but he's more of an engineer guy. He's more of a hardware, software guy. So let's see how that changes. I think they have to do it. They have as you said, the biggest opportunity to be right there at the user interaction, at the first interaction.
I think the main question is so people love Apple. Number one, Apple is, I think it's still the strongest brand in the world. Why do they love Apple? Because they build products that are so sweet to use and that are so nice to have them in your hand, and they're comparable, very robust, and the brand is built around incredible good products. The only question is, when you compare these products to other products in the same category, let's take our iPads. When you compare them to an Android iPad, let's take one from, I don't know, Xiaomi. The question is, zoom out. Is it still a better product, or is it actually a very comparable product? And I think, like, not thinking about the fact that it's a love brand, I think it's a comparable product. That's the first thing.
I'm getting there.
Anyways, I mean, you can also get a pair of Nike shoes and say, well, there's a comparable product without the Nike brand on it. And that's, so I think the brand is the biggest asset. But at the end of the day, a strong product in many competitions wins in the market. And thinking about AI as a big value driver, let's just consider simple example, you want to correct your email. The email correction, when you use it directly in ChatGPT at the moment, is very good. Also, when you use Gemini, it's very good. When you have Gemini integrated in Workspace, it's very, very good.
Copilot in Outlook as well.
I would say Copilot. I'm not sure about Copilot at the moment.
Yeah, okay, that's a different.
I think there is a difficult situation between Microsoft and OpenAI.
Yeah, I think that's another episode as well.
Yeah, we should talk about that in another episode. But definitely Copilot is not integrated as sweet as Gemini in Workspace. But the big threat, to go back to Apple, I think the big threat can be that AI is either not implemented good enough to really succeed. So you say, well, my Android phone can book a table at a restaurant nearby. Everything works smoothly. It's such a nice comfort. And Apple is just not competing. Look at Siri at the moment. I have my HomePod at home. Wow. That's a really bad experience for years already. And there's so much solutions on the market that could outperform that. Well, but let's talk about this in another episode.
Nice. No, cool. Thanks for the episode, and see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.